Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MPWF Annihilation. We are live tonight from Lincoln, Nebraska, and it is time for the Blue Brand to show you what they have. Folks, it is Annihilation, and I am your host, Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood, and we want to thank Electric Callboy for the new theme song. We've got the moves. Remember, folks, to subscribe to us now at MPWF Wrestling, and let's kick off one hell of a night of action, folks. We have the tag team titles on the line in the main event, as well as the Zero Limits Championship. Sasha Fierce will be in action. We will hear from Malcolm Gray, and we will also start things off tonight with the YouTube title right here, right now, live on Annihilation, as well as Dragonheart will be in action making his Annihilation debut, and we'll see Feng Li and so much more here tonight. And we'll hopefully hear from Jamie Emo after the crazy events of Summerslam and MPWF World. But again, folks, we are here for a great night of action. We are on the road to the Royal Rumble, and more specifically on the road to Halloween Havoc for the Annihilation brand. And as announced on our YouTube channel, our opening fight is going to be for the YouTube Championship, and it is a rematch of Night 1 of Summerslam, the King of the Ring semi-finals, and introducing first is Tora, making his way to the ring, formerly undefeated, losing to the Cypher in the semi-finals. Tora was very shocked, did not expect to lose that matchup. But again, that's why he came to Annihilation. When he was deciding whether he was going to be on War or Annihilation, Tora said that he wanted the fight. He wanted to face the best wrestlers that the MPWF has to offer. Well, he might have run into it in the Cypher, ladies and gentlemen. And again, what a night the Cypher has, and we'll talk about him as he makes his way to the ring. And what a matchup, a SummerSlam rematch to kick off tonight. We saw the SummerSlam rematch for the CW World Championship on War that resulted in Ryan Sparks making his way to the ring and attacking Lamar James Jackson, confirming that they will face each other at the Welcome to YouTube show. But we will talk more about MPWF World, folks, on Underground, which will be coming up next after this show. But again, right now, as you can tell, I'm extremely excited about Annihilation, extremely excited about the second half of this year here for the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. And Tora is still receiving a mixed reaction from the MPWF crowd. It seems that the fans here don't know whether to cheer or boo him when it comes to the top level stars here on the Annihilation brand. But I mean, here's a man who is going to get a unanimous cheer, ladies and gentlemen. The King of the Ring winner. Listen to this. Listen to this. I said that the Cypher became the People's Champion at SummerSlam. We're about to find out how much the people love him here tonight. The fans chose the New York Kid, and look at this, the Cypher, usually stoic, usually reserved, is enjoying, is drinking in every single bit of this crowd reaction from this sold-out crowd here tonight in Lincoln, Nebraska. Look at how fired up the 2025 King of the Ring winner is, and the YouTube champion, but no messing around. No pretending. The Cypher's the champ, and he's going to defend the title right here tonight. He's going to try and prove here that it went no fruit against Tora. He's going to try and prove here tonight that he can retain this championship and continue his upward trajectory to the top of the Annihilation brand. This is insane, the reaction this man is receiving here. Again, this man outbeat Jamie Emo in the fan poll votes here in the King of the Ring. The audience have crowned him the People's Champ. Look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable scenes here tonight on Annihilation. A star was born at SummerSlam. Yo, this is going to be a hot way to kick off this night. I'm telling you that right now, folks. This right here is going to be telling you how good the Annihilation brand is here with this YouTube Championship match. both men are. Tora, who is not used to this kind of reaction in the last two shows, and again, both times have been against the Cypher. But like I said, the newly christened by the people, the people's champ, the New York Kid, king of the ring. He is building himself up, folks. You know, I always talk about it here, especially if this is your first time watching the MPWF. Momentum, momentum, momentum. That is the most important thing in sport, ladies and gentlemen. Forget wrestling, in sport. If you can get on a roll, if you can build momentum, that's what takes you to a championship. That's what gets you to win Game 7, is momentum, right? Usually the teams that are winning the second half, say if you lose Game 1 and 2, but you come back and you win Game 3 and 4, and then you pull out a win later Game 5, that's what happens, folks. That is momentum. And that's what the Cypher has right now. And he's got to keep that going here. You know, I've talked about how the new era of MPWF wrestlers are stepping up in a big way. And the Cypher is right at the forefront of that. And now look at that there, wrenching down that arm of Tora. Like I said, the Cypher ain't no slouch in the ring when it comes to wrestling. And nor is Tora, folks. Former Eastern and heavyweight champion in Fight Japan Pro Wrestling. Tora certainly knows what he's doing. Again, in the MPWF, he's only lost one match, folks. And it's to that man right there he's facing. Now the Cypher here, going with these strikes. Again, a former Golden Gloves boxing winner. The Cypher is well versed in boxing as well. Could have become a pro, but decided to go into wrestling as he has Tora to the outside of the ring. But Tora hangs on to the Cypher right up the butt there with the spear to the floor here, folks. And this is what I'm talking about. These men here are bringing an intensity, a pace, and a speed that you wouldn't believe. These two young athletes are going to tear the house down here, ladies and gentlemen. Tora already on the back foot here. And now the Cypher springboard crossbody, and Tora moving out the way. Like I said, Tora would love to gate crash the party of the Cypher. Nice blue thunder bomb there by Tora. And end his momentum. And to leave here with the YouTube Championship. A very prestigious title, I should say, in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. The Cypher has held that championship since WrestleMania. Was embroiled in a war with CJ Parker, who has thus been fired from the MPWF because of his actions. But again, it resulted in one hell of a last man standing matchup at Bound by Honor, which you can check out on our YouTube channel right now, MPWF Wrestling. And now, wait a minute here, Tora slapping Cypher in the face with disrespect, and this happened at Summerslam. And I know that Tora is frustrated with the crowd reaction, but the Cypher is not a man you want to disrespect, not like that anyways. As he sends the Cypher into the ropes. Leapfrog there. And now Cypher going over the drop down. And now look at this here. And a clothesline there by the Cypher catching Tora. You know, I talked about how the Cypher dropped weight in the King of the Ring tournament to compete with those rules. And I honestly believe that the Cypher is looking at dropping more weight. I've noticed how he's been moving around the ring. The speed, you know, and you give up that size in the heavyweight division. But look at that drop kick, and that's what I'm talking about. That agility that he has gained. This goes for the cover, the kick out there by Tora. Tora, on the other hand, getting bigger. Again, less lean, but more power. You know? And that's, again, it's a match of styles here, you know? What do you think is going to help you to succeed as that Saito suplex there by Tora? Said both men trained and wrestled in FJCW, Fight Japan Pro Wrestling, where you can see that action on our secondary channel at MPWF Chairman. As Tora now has the Cypher in a sleeper hold but a rope break, and an elbow there for good measure. And again, the Cypher's ribs were hurt too at SummerSlam. He hasn't got the bandage over them, but Tora will take advantage of that. But again now, what does that mean for the psyche of Tora if Tora was to lose here for the second time tonight? But now look at this. Tora picking up momentum here on the Cypher. And again, bringing up that speed and pace. And again, a mixed reaction from the crowd. And there's an uppercut by the YouTube champion. Again, we will see Angel Ortiz who is the other finalist, defend the Zero Limits Championship against the Eclipse later tonight. That's going to be one hell of a matchup, as well as the main event for the tag team titles. It'll be Gabriel and Abraham versus Sean Stevens and Christopher Eagle. We have a big night of action here on Annihilation. And Tora in trouble as the Cypher now going to go for that springboard crossbody again, and he just clips him with it. He just clips him with it. And now Cypher hooking that leg. And again, the confidence here. You know, I'm talking a lot about the strategy, a lot about the psychology of both men in this matchup. The Cypher has been more dominant in this matchup because of the confidence he gained from Summerslam. Whereas with Tora knowing that he was undefeated, he started off that match at SummerSlam with more confidence in the Cypher, and the roles have reversed. But you see here Tora getting more and more vicious as this match goes along. And a nice schoolboy here by Tora. Wait a minute, Tora with a deadlift slam there to the Cypher with the bridge. Beautiful wrestling there by the challenger, and the kick out by the champion. And now Tora driving another knee to the face of the Cypher. And the crowd not liking that one. And Tora again there with a plummy blow to the back of the neck of the Cypher. And now sends him into the buckle. Tora now has him in that precarious position on the top rope. And we've seen him do some devastating moves from there. But no, the Cypher kicking that arm away and another uppercut dropping Tora. And now look at this, the Cypher mounting and ground and pounding Tora. And I think he might have split him open with that big right hand. And if he did with that one, the Superman punch here will do it. And oh wait, Tora moved out the way, sidestepped it, and Tora now has the Cypher up for the jackknife power bomb, and he hits it. Dropping the Cypher right on his neck. Tora now to become the YouTube champion, our opening fight here, and no. A near fall. One hell of a way to start off Annihilation. One hell of a matchup we're seeing right here tonight. And now Tora gonna go high risk off the top, and no, the Cypher moves out the way this time. And now Cypher here, bobbing and weaving. Back to those, you see that, those boxing strikes here. Those body blows, and that one dropped Tora. And now the Cypher whipping Tora into the buckle. Clothesline, and now he's got Tora up here. Now look at the Cypher here showing that strength with that scoop slam. And now the YouTube champion is looking for immortal technique to walk out of here as the champ still. But no, there's a headbutt dropping Tora. And now again Cypher with those boxing body shots, and sends Tora into the buckle. And now look at this here. Wearing down the challenger is the Cypher, keeping him grounded, staying on him. And again, I mentioned the agility and cardio. The Cypher hasn't stopped. This was like a minute straight of offense, and Tora having to get a breather here. And oh, Cypher fights back with that right hand. And now the Cypher there, spine buster on the challenger. Spine buster on Tora. Cypher with the cover here. 2. Oh my goodness gracious me, he almost had it. A near fall there, and straight into the Boston Crab. And like I said, look at the cardio of the champion. But Tora, there's that power. And now, oh, into the knee again, but Cypher saw it coming this time. And now wait, Tora, oh my god, a jawbreaker. Tora now sends the Cypher into the buckle. Oh, what a chop. Oh, that one dropped the Cypher. That chop dropped the Cypher here. What an incredible matchup this is here to start off Annihilation, ladies and gentlemen. I know Tora now. Oh, went to try and drive another knee to the face of the Cypher, and the Cypher not allowing it to happen, and there's a big boot right in the jaw. Once again, Tora holding onto the ropes. Cypher having to get down. And oh wait, Tora there with the elbow. Tora could be looking for the Kyoto Annihilator. No, he was going for it. There's the elbow by the Cypher, and the Cypher going for immortal technique, but Tora moves out the way in an inverted DDT. And the crowd now booing Tora here. Fully on the side of the Cypher, and Tora though with a senton splash off the top rope to become the new YouTube champion to start the show off. 2, and off Cypher just gets the shoulder up. Again, folks, this is a main event of a quick review waiting to happen between these two men. And now wait, the Cypher again Going right back to those boxing strikes that's worked so well for him, and what a slam there to Tora. What a slam to Tora. And the Cypher gonna go for it one more time. That big boxing shot, the Superman punch. The Superman punch might have knocked Tora clean out. 2. Oh my goodness gracious me, what a near fall. Incredible match. Wait a minute, small package to take the title. 2. No. Unbelievable way to start off Annihilation, folks. And now Tora sends the Cypher to the buckle. And he's got it back up on the top rope again. And look at that strike there by Tora. And now Tora has the Cypher up here. And he just gives him a back body drop off the top turnbuckle. And you see the way the YouTube champion landed. And Tora now to win the championship with that move off the top turnbuckle. And no, the Cypher kicks out again. Tora's beside himself. He's thinking, what have I got to do to beat this man? And again, sometimes, folks, you just have a guy you cannot beat. You have a bogey. And Tora's bogey could be the Cypher. That could just be how it is, folks. But the Cypher, whipping Tora. Referee accidentally getting in the way. Tora with the elbow, though. And oh, wait a minute. Chop, block shot, another right hand there by the Cypher, and another one dropping him. And the Cypher going for perhaps with a 450 splash, the move that helped him win the King of the Ring finals. 450, and no, Tora moved out the way. That's the move that picked Tora at Summerslam. And Tora with a jackknife cover. 2. No, the Cypher just gets the shoulder up. Tora learned from his mistake from Summerslam, but wasn't able to capitalize. And Tora now feeling it here to win the YouTube title, and a senton, and he misses. Senton, and he misses. And the Cypher again, back with those strikes. Now whips Tora into the ropes. And oh, wait a minute, catches him with the DDT. Nice sprawl there by the challenger. And now Tora wants it. The Kyoto Annihilator. And now, oh, catching him again, does the Cypher. And wait a minute, that hook right into Immortal Technique. Immortal Technique by the YouTube champion with the cover. And he retains the championship in a spectacular wrestling match, folks. You know, sometimes it is good to just straight call a wrestling match, folks. No shenanigans, no interference, just 2 men scrapping to prove that they're the very best. That's what the YouTube Championship is all about. That's what we just watched here. These men gave it from the get-go. This was about 15 minutes of non-stop action. Do you know how difficult it is to wrestle for 15 minutes without breathing the way that these 2 men just did, folks? Kudos to both men, but I believe that Tora has found his bogey on this roster. The Cypher defeats him here tonight once again and retains the YouTube title, continuing his momentum. Tora, I thought he had it there off the Cypher, missed the 450. Look at that there, big right hook. That right hook there caught Tora right off guard, and boom, Immortal Technique, and that is all she wrote, folks. Incredible way to start off the show. And still, the YouTube champion, the people's champ, the Cypher, ladies and gentlemen. He wants it all, folks. He's gonna take it. The Cypher proving that hard work is all that it takes, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about who you know. It's not about what you know. It's about the hard work that you put in the squared circle, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what the Cypher's proved here in the MPWF. He ain't fancy, but he gets the job done. Now listen to this audience as the Cypher getting ready to speak to the crowd once again. And they are showering him in respect, folks. Again, this kid came up from the World Wrestling Future in our first show back on YouTube to this point now, and he says, I ain't gonna lie, I'm an introverted person. I like to get to business, beat my opponents, and head out the arena. But the way y'all have cheered me has been infectious. And that's it, man. The MPWF fans respect hard work, and that's what the Cypher has done. That's why they cheered him over the likes of Jay Nemo and Sean Stevens and Angel Ortiz, because of hard work, folks. Incredible scenes, man. The Cypher says, y'all are starting to call me the people's champion. That is not something I take lightly. It's a title that I wear with pride, just like this YouTube championship. But I want bigger. I said I was going to main event WrestleMania. I said I was going to win the King of the Ring, and I did. At Halloween Havoc, I want to become double champion. I want the MPWF World Heavyweight Championship. The Cypher is calling his shot at Halloween Havoc. He wants it. He wants at Klaus and that MPWF World Heavyweight Championship. He says, so Klaus, I know your big ass is lurking in the back. Come out here with the MPWF World Heavyweight title and let's make this official for Halloween Havoc. My God, folks, could you imagine these two young stars battling for the richest prize on Annihilation at such a big event such as Halloween Havoc? And ask and you shall receive. The King Scorpion of the MPWF is afraid of nobody. And again, we've been talking about the Cypher and winning the King of the Ring, but how about this man and the fight that he had with Ricky Cash, and quite frankly the domination he had over Ricky Cash. Let's get that right. Klaus was impressive, and he retained the MPWF World Heavyweight Championship in, like I said, dominant fashion, folks. The referee had to call the bell. Cash didn't even tap out. The referee made the decision saying there was no way for Ricky Cash to fight back. Klaus has held this championship now for quite some time, and no one has been able to wrestle it away from him. Look at the confidence in the King Scorpion. The leader of Team Bloodshed taking over one of the most dominant figures in MPWF history in the Russian badass Ivan Volkov. And the crazy thing is that Klaus and the Cypher have met before in a wrestling ring, ladies and gentlemen. They main evented Annihilation in New York City. So they are no strangers to each other. And we talked about it then, just like I talked about it now, between Cypher and Tora, saying that this was a future main event. I mentioned it in that matchup in New York, that this was a future MPWF title matchup, and it is coming to fruition at Halloween Havoc. This is what I love here. There's no old school here. This is two completely fresh faces. Two of the new stars of the MPWF. And Klaus says, so you want to challenge me, huh? You want to challenge the King Scorpion for the MPWF Heavyweight Championship of the world. Did you not just witness what I did to Ricky Cash at Summerslam? Do you not realize that I am unstoppable? You won the King of the Ring, but you won it against a man whose neck I broke. And let's face it, Cypher, you barely won. Facing me would be a huge mistake. Klaus very, very confident, laying down the law to the Cypher, and the Cypher is not going to be intimidated by the world champion. Cypher says, I know you ain't disrespecting me like that when you've never defeated me in the MPWF. Yeah, you think we forgot, Klaus? I pinned you in the Elimination Chamber. I pinned you in the main event in New York City. Now, I know that your entire game has changed in the last year, and so has mine. You thought I was difficult to face before, Klaus. I am the people's champion, and I am coming for the MPWF World's Heavyweight title. And now the Cypher laying down the law to Klaus. And it's true. The Cypher has the advantage over Klaus in their rivalry. And you hear this crowd here in Lincoln completely on the side of the YouTube champion. Klaus says, let us get one thing straight. Each one of those pins was a fluke. Ryan helped you pin me in the chamber after I damn near killed you. And a fluke roll-up after Angel Ortiz gave you a victory in front of your hometown, which was a hostile environment I had to deal with. At Halloween Havoc, there will be no Ryan, no Ortiz, and no New York. I will leave you a bloody mess and a what if in MPWF's history. Very chilling words there by the world champion. And there it is, the heavyweight championship of the world. The Cypher says, I have overcome every obstacle that has been thrown in my way since coming to YouTube. I have literally started from the bottom in the World Wrestling Future. I built myself all the way up to this match at Halloween Havoc. I don't need anyone's help to beat you. Me and the people will fight and fight and fight and fight until we win the MPWF World Heavyweight Championship. He didn't even need to say I have spoken, because the people know. The people know. What a main event this is going to be at Halloween Havoc, ladies and gentlemen. The two young stars of the Major Pain Wrestling Federation battling for the richest prize on this brand. Like I said, this is what progression is. This is what the Major Pain Wrestling Federation is all about. But again, later tonight, folks, we mentioned in the main event, World Tag Team Titles on the line. Gabriel and Abraham of the Void take on Sean Stevens and Christopher Eagle of the Darkness, continuing their bitter rivalry, as well as the Eclipse will compete in a submission rules matchup against Angel Ortiz for the Zero Limits Championship right here live tonight. And Kat S'mores will go one-on-one with Sasha Fierce. Sasha Fierce demanded this matchup after what took place at Summerslam with Kat interfering in her situation with Serenity, the Women's World Champion. All of this and so much more here tonight, folks. It is time to get nasty, folks. Here comes Stacy Sweet and Guy, the Anabolic Autonomy. And Stacy Sweet is in for one hell of a matchup. This one has been building for quite some time. In this battle here with Feng Li that we have seen in the MPWF since Bound by Honor, since the debut of the Cyberpunk. Stacy Sweet says that he is going to take that little no bench press having full to the cleaners, ladies and gentlemen. That is a quote directly from Stacy Sweet. Stacy, if you're nasty, ladies and gentlemen. And he is ready for a fight, ready to party. And they're going to go to the gym right after this, folks. Protein shakes, creatine, you name it. These men are going to be going ham if he wins here. But the momentum is not on the side of Stacy Sweet. We saw in our previous episode, Joey Eagle becoming the surprise partner for Feng Li, giving them the victory here last episode. Stacy Sweet is in desperate need of a victory. Will he be able to pull it from our main man here against Feng Li? And you talk about fan favorites developing here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. Feng Li stood out huge in recent weeks here in the MPWF on the Annihilation brand. And Feng Li has targeted Stacy Sweet, and now he gets him one-on-one in singles competition. We saw Stacy Sweet ducking Jamie Emo, ducking competition. Well, ain't no ducking here tonight. The Cyberpunk from Night City, looking for the win, looking for the momentum builder. We talked about before, we've got Halloween Havoc coming up next for the Annihilation brand, but we are on the road to the Royal Rumble, folks. 30 men, 30 women, and that's right, we'll have 30 women in the Royal Rumble this year. We'll all compete with the opportunity to main event WrestleMania 12, folks. And Feng Li would love to build some momentum and put himself in the forefront for that on this brand. So here we go, Stacy Sweet, who again, as annoying as Stacy Sweet can be, I've mentioned time and time again about how tremendous of an in-ring talent that Stacy Sweet is. Sometimes his shenanigans gets the best of him, but right here he's going to outpower Feng Li. Feng Li does not have the size against Stacy Sweet here, but Feng Li again, no fear. Sierra Miedo, no fear, but he's going to match up to Stacy Sweet the best way possible with his speed as he uses that Hurricane Rana. But the one thing Feng Li's going to have to watch out for, there's no Joe Eagle in the ring right now. Currently, Guy is on the outside and he's by himself in the ring here with Stacy Sweet. And now look at this, a kick again, outspeeding Stacy Sweet here in this matchup, and an uppercut, a nice shooting star press from the standing position. Like I said, Stacy Sweet is another wrestler that's been on the cusp of breaking into the next level here in the MPWF. And again, he wants to shut down a new star to the Annihilation brand in Feng Li to secure that. We saw before SummerSlam, KK Crown was talking about building the divisions here, getting people ready for the Zero Limits Championship for the YouTube title. And now, oh, that backfired right there, folks. Guy undid the turnbuckle to give Stacy Sweet the advantage, and it backfired, and Feng Li now in control in this matchup. And Feng Li up the top rope with a big, beautiful crossbody, taking down Stacy Sweet here. Yeah, we saw the Cypher just now defend that YouTube championship. Again, one of these two men, we can see them building in that division, or the Zero Limits division. We'll see that title again defended later tonight. Stacy Sweet, though, able to outpower that submission, and he's got Feng Li up on his shoulders now, and Feng Li in trouble. Feng Li goes face first on the turnbuckle, and now here Stacy Sweet with that boot in the throat there of Feng Li, and Guy, his spotter, grabbing weapons on the outside, trying to help his man out, folks. That's what a spotter does. A spotter is your best friend. A spotter makes sure that you don't fail your lift, make sure you don't fail in a wrestling match, and that's what Guy is here for Stacy Sweet. And there's a leg drop. Again, Stacy Sweet, though, starting to get over with the MPWF fans on YouTube, coming out to that Benny Benassi, folks. You know, it gets the people going. And, oh, wait for that big strike, though. Feng Li fights back here. Feng Li now with a nice reversal into the pinfall here, catching Stacy Sweet. And honestly, Stacy does not have an answer for the speed of Feng Li, but he might have just found it as I spoke. I may have spoke too soon as he hit that flying European uppercut on Feng Li. And now, oh, big clothesline there by Sweet. And now Stacy, oh my gosh, a shot to the back there. Now look at this here. Stacy Sweet starting to get really vicious now, folks. And this is what Stacy Sweet needs to do, you know? Less shenanigans as he's doing it right now, and more focus on picking up the win. Because again, I don't think Stacy Sweet can have another wrestler passing by here on the Annihilation brand. He might end up like Jason Holiday and beautiful Bobby Martin Kyle, who have been struggling to build their momentum back. Although they have on the MPWF Underground, and they will compete on Underground against Charlie Jean and Kane Knight. You know, Stacy Sweet is representing the bad guys of the Annihilation brand, if you will. And Feng Li trying to make a stop to that. Fights back out here. And Feng Li with a beautiful Hurricane Rana. Feng Li brings a high-octane style to the Annihilation brand that, you know, that you would expect to see in the Cruiserweight division on War. But he brings it good there with a clothesline. And Stacy Sweet, though, hangs on. And Sweet catches him in the midsection there with the shoulder block. Both of these men were successful in the World Wrestling Future. And look at this. Oh, my goodness. A combination punch there by Stacy Sweet to Feng Li. And oh, a near fall. Feng Li, a former Future Generation champion. Stacy Sweet, a multiple-time tag team champion in the World Wrestling Future and the MPWF for Stacy Sweet. But I said Sweet wants some singles gold. And oh, what a kick. A cyclone kick there by Feng Li may have finished Stacy Sweet off and off. Sweet just gets the shoulder up. That kick came out of nowhere. And now Feng Li with the Ice Saeed moonsault takes down Stacy Sweet again, hooking the leg one more time. 1, 2, and off. And Feng Li keeping up that pace. A lot of young wrestlers on this brand here on Annihilation. And there's a frog splash off the top rope. And that's going to be it to pin Stacy Sweet. And Sweet gets the shoulder up again. Stacy Sweet showing his resilience here tonight. And now Sweet in trouble as Feng Li now springboards, catches him here in a beautiful DDT there by Feng Li. And Feng Li needs a big move. Wait a minute, Guy there with the distraction. Guy distracting Feng Li. Feng Li needs to pay attention to Stacy Sweet. And wait a minute, oh, the anabolic experience out of nowhere. Because of the distraction by Guy, Stacy Sweet picks up the victory. Oh my goodness. Feng Li was rocking and rolling in this matchup, folks. He was on the verge of victory. But Guy, I mentioned it in the beginning, I said Guy could be the cause of Feng Li losing his first match here on Annihilation. And that's exactly what happened. I don't even know how he managed to pull that off. I wouldn't allow Stacy to hit me with those punches. But Feng Li fought back and was rocking and rolling on Stacy Sweet here. Look at this cyclone kick. I'm surprised that Stacy Sweet got the kick out of that. And he barely did it. Now look at this, 2, and oh my goodness. The Isai moonsault, the frog splash off the top rope. Feng Li was throwing everything he had at Stacy Sweet. Crowd here booing heavily. I think they're in shock, ladies and gentlemen. And again, you shouldn't be. Stacy Sweet knows what he's doing. This right here, Feng Li had Sweet beat off this DDT. He was down out for the count. But the distraction there by Guy, right here, the anabolic experience, wham! And Stacy Sweet picks up the victory here tonight. Time to get out your BCAAs, ladies and gentlemen. It's celebration time. We're going to have a creatine cocktail. Stacy Sweet and Guy are going to go hard here tonight, folks. And you talked about that Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble has made careers, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be fist pumping. What was GTL? Is that what it was back in the day? Did I just age myself for here, ladies and gentlemen? But here we are backstage, and Tora has a baseball bat, and I've heard that he was crashing out in the backstage area. And Ben Rich says, Tora, what's with all this commotion? People have been claiming that you've been yelling and smashing things in the back here. What is the meaning of this? So Tora, obviously frustrated that he lost again to the Cypher. And again, he shouldn't be. It was an incredible matchup. It's just that, you know, the Cypher's on another level right now. That's all that's happening. And Tora saying, Cypher has taken everything from me. I am the best wrestler in the world. I came to Annihilation to prove that, and in just 2 matches I have lost twice. Once in the King of the Ring, and now for the YouTube title. My honor has been fractured. Not to mention the MPWF fans have chosen to celebrate my failures. I am a dangerous man, Ben. I do not want to be pushed to the brink. Now Tora is going off in his own language, ladies and gentlemen. He's going off in Japanese, so he is not happy at all. Oh, wait a minute, folks. Richard Hawkins is here, and there's history between these two men. And Hawkins says, now just hold on and calm down a second. We have a little bit of history, don't we? Now, you know how I felt when I was on a roll of my modern career, and you ended it by defeating me at Bound by Honor. Cypher can be annoying, to say the least. I have dealt with him. But instead of crashing out, as the kids say, think about becoming legit. Forget fan support. Take my support. And I think we can get you back on the right track. Well, now, hold on a minute. Richard Hawkins ain't done this a while, but Richard Hawkins offering to help Tora? I mean, it would be in a legit partnership, but it could be terrifying for the rest of the Annihilation roster. But folks, remember right now to go and follow us on X at MPWF2013 for all updates of the MPWF. But coming up next for this show, We are going to see the final confrontation before the biggest match in MPWF Underground history for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Angelina and Faye Bartlett. One more confrontation, folks. Let's hear it out right now. Angelina is in a must-win situation here tonight, folks. Angelina thought that she was going to get the victory in a tag team matchup at Summerslam, but it did not pan out the way she wanted. Faye Bartlett and Joe DuPont defeated her and Cecilia Perez, and now the Intercontinental Championship is in jeopardy. Faye Bartlett said it. Step 1 was to win the Underground Championship, which she did. Step 2 was to win at SummerSlam. Step 3 is to finally get Angelina on the ring one-on-one. And oh, now look at this. Angelina, I cannot believe this is what she's become. Constantly screw the cameraman and throwing him to the floor is ridiculous. And she is happy and proud of herself. But she's going to have to come up with a major game plan to keep that Intercontinental Championship at MPWF Underground. It's amazing the role reversal that we have seen between Faye Bartlett and Angelina. I never thought it would end up this way. But listen to this ovation, man. Listen to this. This crowd here cheering French destruction. They are cheering Faye Bartlett. If you would have told me this 5 years ago, that Faye Bartlett would be getting a hero's reception, I'd have told you you're lying. But here she is, getting cheered like crazy by the MPWF fans, accepting who she is, no longer hiding her face, no longer hiding the damage from Hell in a Cell. And she has the chance to win the championship that was robbed from her in Paris, France. She wants to go back to Paris with that Intercontinental Championship. Again, I'll tell you, I'd love to go back to Paris. The crowd was insane. It was insane for the MPWF over there. So, in the MPWF arena in Vegas, the crowd is going to go insane, folks, if Faye Bartlett is to win that Intercontinental Championship. And again, this is not a contract signing because Faye Bartlett, by winning the Underground Championship, has chosen, she mentioned it, that she's cashing in on that championship, and she says, you know, this final confrontation is nothing but semantics to me. This is nothing more than a marketing ploy by the MPWF. I say this because we don't need to talk anymore about this title match on Underground. You try to end my career and you humiliated me in Paris, and now I'm going to beat you as far as I legally can and become the new Intercontinental Champion, Angelina. She says it's as simple as that, folks. I understand a little bit of French. She says it is as simple as that. No messing around here for Faye Bartlett. She got Joan DuPont on her side. And Angelina says, well, look at how cocky we've gotten, Faye. One victory at SummerSlam in your entire career, I might add. And you are really convinced that you're going to beat me up and take my title on Underground. Faye, at some point reality will set in and you will understand that you cannot beat me. You cannot beat us because you are a weak link in our triumvirate. Well, Cecilia Perez is happy about that. The second triumvirate of the MPWF Women's Division, Faye Bartlett, Cecilia Perez, and Angelina. And she says, you see, unfortunately for you and your little French friend over there, after I defeat you again on Underground, Cecilia will help me finish you off because she has signed a full-time contract with Annihilation. General Manager Crown has been impressed with her recent performances and has given her a job. So Faye, this final confrontation isn't semantics. It's so you can have one last look at the Intercontinental title before you never come near it again. Well, there is some big news, folks. Cecilia Perez officially a part of the Annihilation brand. And Faye says, it's like I said, all of this talking is absolutely meaningless. You destroyed my face and embarrassed me. Cecilia was complicit in the second. Now she is here full time, and we will get our revenge on her. You are clearly hiding and clinging on to the fact that you know you can't beat me anymore. Angelina, that's something you have to work on out yourself. But while you figure it out, I will become the next Intercontinental Champion. Faye Bartlett confident as ever, folks. Confident as ever. And what a main event for MPWF Underground it is going to be between Bartlett and Peace. Oh, wait a minute. And we should have known this. A cheap shot here by Angelina Peace. And Angelina Peace down. Oh, she's going up for that Peace cutter. Oh, my goodness. Angelina Peace will do whatever it takes these days to get the advantage. Joan DuPont to her feet, and Cecilia Perez dies on top of her. We should have seen this coming, folks. We should have seen this coming. And oh my God. Just smacked her right in the head with that microphone. Well, now wait a minute. Cecilia Perez is setting up that table. And again, another shot to the skull with that microphone. Joan DuPont is down on the outside of the ring, and wait a minute. Angelina, what are you doing here? Angelina has Faye Bartlett up and up. Oh my goodness gracious me. She just neckbreaking her off the top rope through the table. And Faye Bartlett is down and out. And the question now is, what is the damage that has been done at the hands of Angelina Peace? You know, I'm starting to agree with Faye Bartlett. I think Angelina Peace doesn't believe that she can beat Bartlett anymore, folks. And that's what this is all about. If she was this confident, she wouldn't have brought Cecilia Perez out in Paris. She wouldn't have done this here, folks. And we now need some medical attention here for Faye Bartlett. Get a neck breaker up the top rope through the table. And again, I think things are about to go from bad to worse for the Annihilation Women's roster, with Cecilia Perez now a part of this roster full time. And again, she may have just given herself the advantage to make sure that she is still the Intercontinental Champion when this night is all said and done on Underground. Here we are backstage. We're in the parking lot, I should say, with Sean Stevens and Christopher Eagle. And Eagle says, look, coach, I understand the whole patience thing, but I just can't agree with it. We were so quick to start Max Payne and Mason Gray. Benson is taking everybody out, including Helios, and you still want to be patient? I don't get it. I know I'm overstepping, but Carnage says that you've got powers we barely understand. You brought some of them out for Kivo, but why not Benson? Why are we still playing fair? What's the deal? Again, Benson Clement is literally sacrificing people, and Sean Stevens is staying to be patient. You know, all of us MPWF fans want to know, what's the plan? How are you going to get rid of the Void? And Sean says, not every fight, not every war, and not every enemy is the same. Kivo and Mason are anarchists. Pain and destruction for the sake of it. No plan, no direction, just pure evil. Thanatos was the same way. When I was younger, those fights were easy to win by throwing up a middle finger and beating someone's ass. Benson is playing an anarchist. Look at what he's achieved, though. He's had power and influence on both war and annihilation. And that is true, folks. For a time period there, we saw the Covenant on MPWF War as well. Benson has not just played this on one brand. He says he has turned Carnage and it sent Helios to the Void. All of this without even winning the MPWF World title. And all of this while gaining the support of the MPWF fans. Kivo, Mason, Thanatos were never cheered. Never had a cult following. We need to see him play his hand. Before we really strike, we need to see what he is capable of. We need to push Abraham and Gabriel in this tag team title match. But we have to be smart or we will lose the titles and this match. Again, this is a much more mature Sean Stevens, because let's face it, Sean Stevens would have went guns blazing back in the day, folks. And Eagle says, I haven't got time for this. My whole career has been fighting up against oppression. Coach, I still haven't gotten my lick back from when Max Payne damn near ended my career in Hell in a Cell. Benson is bad news. Max Payne has literally never been the same since you fought him in Hell in a Cell. If you brought that to Benson, we would be done. I need my hero back. No one wants to see careful Sean Stevens. They want to see the ass kicker kick the Void's ass. You need to bring the pain. Christopher Eagle trying to motivate Sean Stevens, trying to tell him that we need a specific type of Sean Stevens for this fight. We need a specific type of Sean Stevens for this battle. And Stevens says, you remind me of myself, and now I sound like Carnage from 12 years ago. The ass-kicking Sean Stevens is still here, and he will come out. You just have to be patient. Again, is this right? Is Sean Stevens making the right ploy? That's something you guys are going to have to discuss in the comment section. Our Superstar Initiative continues here in the MPWF. We saw Cole Quinn on MPWF 4 against Phoenix Oscuro. Hector Flores is coming out here for competition here tonight on Annihilation, folks. And again, you hear by the ovation, the MPWF fans are highly excited to see Hector Flores. And I'm telling you right now, Hector Flores would be a good addition in the Cruiserweight division on MPWF War. But having an opportunity to prove himself here on the Annihilation brand. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. His opponent is Malcolm Gray, and honestly, Malcolm Gray needs to be reprimanded for taking out T-Dot. T-Dot not here this episode, injured at the hands of Malcolm Gray. And what is this? Why does Malcolm Gray have the Old Hardcore Championship? I'm confused. I am very confused as to why Malcolm Gray has the Hardcore Championship. I was going to talk about the fact that the public enemy of the MPWF took out T-Dot with 3 power bombs and an assault with a weapon on our previous episode of Annihilation, and T-Dot being ruled out of action here tonight on the injured reserve list. But Malcolm Gray coming to this matchup with the Old Hardcore title. T-Dot was the final Hardcore champion in the MPWF. So I mean, his mother, Meredith, is the COO of the MPWF, so that must be how he got the title. But why is he coming out with the Hardcore title? I mean, it's not a recognized championship in the MPWF anymore. This crowd here booing Malcolm Gray. Again, T-Dot, another future star of the MPWF that the fans wanted to see, and been taken out by Malcolm Gray. They're not happy about that. Again, if Hector Flores wants to be a huge fan favorite, if he was to take out Malcolm Gray tonight, I'll tell you right now, this crowd here would cheer Hector Flores to the end of time, folks. It's been an incredible episode thus far of MPWF Annihilation. We'll keep you updated on Angelina. Well, Angelina Peace did the Faye Bartlett, so I should say we'll keep you updated on Faye Bartlett. And our nice arm drag takedown there by Hector Flores. Dropping that knee in. Again, an incredible YouTube title match to start the night off. We got the confirmation of the MPWF Heavyweight Championship match at Halloween Havoc between the Cypher and Klaus. We also found out as well that Stacy Sweet was able to pick up the victory against, oh my gosh, against Fang Lee. Controversial means, but he still got the victory. And now Malcolm Gray has Flores by the throat here. And now Flores there with a reversal. And Hector Flores proving that he ain't no slouch here tonight. And oh my goodness. Again, Hector Flores would like to forego the indies and sign a full-time contract with the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. Get a win over Malcolm Gray. I'm sure KK Clown would get that job done in a heartbeat. And now look at these elbows here by Malcolm Gray. A young competitor. Skipped the World Wrestling future. Brought into the MPWF by his uncle Mason Gray. Again, he is yet to win a championship here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. but the time is coming soon because he is very good, folks. He is a nonchalant, doesn't care about anyone else but himself, but he's the public enemy for a reason, right? He is very good in the ring, and he went for that big boot, and Flores pulling down the ropes. And now Hector on the top rope here. Malcolm Gray on the outside, and Hector Flores with a drop kick. I tell you right now, Hector Flores bringing the pain here. Hector Flores is bringing the pain. Now Flores now on the top rope. Malcolm Gray slow to his feet, and oh wait, there's that athleticism of the big man. And Malcolm Gray now with a huge sidewalk slam there on Hector Flores. Hooking the leg here, 2, and a kick out by Flores. Yeah, I want to know what this hardcore championship is all about, why he's got it, and now look at this though. Face washing Flores on the mat. Trying to give that man a one-way ticket to Impetigo, folks. And now wait, oh, Flores again. Flores got heart. Hector Flores has got heart. He is reversing as much as he can to Malcolm Gray. Now wait a minute. Oh my God, Flores trying to keep him up, and he gets him down with that brainbuster. Big brainbuster by Hector Flores here. And oh, Malcolm Gray kicking out. Flores got to do more than that, my man. You got to do more than that. And Flores up the top rope with the elbow drop. Hector Flores impressing here on Annihilation with the cover 2. And oh, Malcolm Gray gets the shoulder up. Malcolm Gray's going to have to end this one sooner. He might get embarrassed here by Hector Flores. Oh, God, what a right hand. What a right hand. And now look at this Malcolm Gray. Got him in the full Nelson here. And oh, wait a second. He made him tap out. Just like that. Malcolm Gray adding another wrinkle to his game, folks, with the full Nelson submission hold. Instead, Flores brought the pain. I was impressed with Hector Flores here. But Malcolm Gray with that full Nelson choke. Look at this brain buster. Again, I'm liking this Superstar Initiative, and I cannot wait to see Flores back here in the MPWF. But the elbow tried to get the win, but no. The full Nelson. Look at this here. Now look at the way he wrenched back, and Flores had no choice but to tap out. Malcolm Gray tried to pop his head right off his shoulders. And he rebounds after that loss to Tora on our previous episode. Wait a minute, now Malcolm Gray with the Hardcore Championship. Maybe we're going to get an explanation about this. And he says, alright, chill, let me spit. Some of y'all are wondering, why do I have the old MPWF Hardcore title? Well, it's really simple. I'm hardcore. Last episode, I took out the Lost Hardcore Champion with 3 power bombs. All I hear is y'all gas up Tora as the future star. But where is he tonight? Sitting at home resting and recovering because he crossed Malcolm Gray? If I was on the show in 2023, I would have beaten him for the hardcore title. Malcolm Gray has been obsessed with this, folks. He said if he was in the World Wrestling future, he would have beaten Tora. He says now if he was on Annihilation in 2023, he would have beaten Tora. And then when he had the chance to beat Tora, he didn't win. Malcolm Gray says if I was in the WWF, there you go. If I was in the WWF, I would have beaten him and become the WWF champion. I just won by submission, meaning I could be the Zero Limits champion. Tora, if you don't like the disrespect, you'll come back from your injury, and I could put you out for good this time. Well, look, Angel Ortiz will gladly face you in a submission match. So I would direct this energy to Ortiz in the Zero Limits Championship. But I think Malcolm Gray is goading Tora to come back before he's ready, so Malcolm Gray can get the victory, folks. And I think it's what he's using the hardcore title to goad him into doing that. And wait a minute, wait, he's going after Hector Flores here. No, wait a second. Wait a minute. Oh no, don't powerbomb it on the floor. Don't powerbomb it on the floor. Oh my God. Malcolm Gray now really proving his nickname, the Public Enemy. And he's getting hardcore, all right. He's got that trash can lid. And wait a minute, now he's got that stop sign. Hector Flores, oh my gosh. And once again, we got another wrestler destroying the integrity of something special we're trying to do in the MPWF. This Superstar Initiative, and Malcolm Gray destroying Hector Flores here. So he thinks he's hardcore. He thinks he's hardcore. And now wait a minute, he's gonna jackknife him on that trash can lid. Oh my word. You're a tough guy, right? You're a big man. Oh, look at this. Jackknife powerbomb on the floor. And then again, the weapon shots here by Malcolm Gray and the devastating jackknife powerbomb on the trash can lid. Look at the way Flores' head bounces off the trash can lid. Disgusting, folks. Well, I'll tell you this, T-Dot's gonna be back. And when T-Dot is back, Malcolm Gray ain't gonna be so confident. He's not gonna be talking so much nonsense. I'll tell you that right now. This crowd telling Malcolm Gray exactly how they feel about him. Can you leave the ring? This man is wasting TV time by celebrating with a fake championship. It's not even a established title in the MPWF anymore. And wait a minute. Here we are with Clarissa Clearwater and Cat Smalls backstage. She says, hello Annihilation fans, Clarissa Clearwater here. At this time, I'm with Rising Star Cat Smalls. Cat, you made a big assist in the Women's World Title match at Summerslam that has led to the fans cheering you here tonight. You said to Serenity that you did it for justice. When is she coming back? And are you prepared for your match with Sasha Fierce tonight? A lot of questions being asked here by Clarissa. Can Cat Smalls answer them here in this interview? Cat says, I am happy that the fans are starting to recognize what I bring to the table here on Annihilation. I said it as clear as day. When Justice is ready, she will be back. And she wants the MPWF Women's World title. And she wants Serenity to have it because she needs to be the one that beats her. Unfortunately for Sasha, that doesn't line up with her plans, but I couldn't care less. I'm going to finish what I started tonight. Well, Cat Smalls very confident, and she's going to need it against an MPWF veteran and a first ballot Hall of Famer in Sasha Fierce, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. Look who Cat Smalls just walked into. The Women's World Champion, Serenity. And Serenity says, hey, Cat, I just want to thank you for SummerSlam. I was wrong. I needed some backup out there. I can back you up tonight. Or if you need someone to train with or advice while Justice is gone, I can be there for you. Cat Smalls certainly earned Serenity's respect at SummerSlam by helping her out when Sasha Fierce tried to cost her the championship. Cat says, thank you. I like you, like you, Serenity. But I do have to do this on my own. Just keep the title warm for Justice. So Cat Smalls is still focused on Justice Fitzgerald, and we have not heard from Justice since Bound by Honor. Justice has lost her smile, we've heard, and we are waiting for her to come back. But it's time now, folks, for our second of 3 championships to be decided here tonight. And here comes popular MPWF legend, the Eclipse. Former world champion, former YouTube and internet champion. The Eclipse has been impressive since moving over to the Annihilation brand, defeating Richard Hawkins in an incredible matchup on Underground, has earned him the right to challenge for the Zero Limits title, again stepping out of his comfort zone to compete in a submission matchup here tonight. But that's the special thing about the Zero Limits Championship. With that title, the champion makes the rules. The champion determines how the title will be fought. And that's why Angel Ortiz has had the belt, because nobody's been able to stop Ortiz for that championship in a submission rules matchup. Can the Eclipse figure out a submission, find a way to make Angel Ortiz tap out? We've got 2 big-time players competing for this championship here tonight. You know, we've talked a lot about the Cypher this evening because he won the King of the Ring. But right now, and in this matchup, I want to talk about Sub-Zero. I want to talk about Angel Ramirez Ortiz. Still fighting, even though he didn't win the King of the Ring, even though he hasn't been able to avenge getting his neck broken against Klaus, Ortiz will never give up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there's anyone in the MPWF that has more heart than Sub-Zero Angel Ramirez Ortiz. The trainer of the Sub-Zero Fight Factory, and he has a few students there already, and you know that when their training is done, they are going to dominate Core Wrestling Global, they're going to dominate the MPWF. The big question against Angel Ortiz has been, is his neck up to scratch? Has it been permanently damaged at the hands of Klaus? And again, unfortunately for Ortiz, it seems that it has. We saw in that matchup with Summerslam that the Cypher went for those elbows and it affected the neck. And Ortiz was beaten right after that. Ortiz failed to beat Klaus at Survivor Series, but he has retained this Zero Limits Championship. He has held on to this title. So again, if I was the Eclipse, my game plan in this matchup tonight would be to go after the neck of Ortiz. It is his Achilles heel. This crowd here is going to be 150% on the side of Sub-Zero here tonight. Like I said, it was a battle between warriors in the King of the Ring finals. Nothing but respect for both Cypher and Angel Ortiz. Both men put it all on the line, and that's all you can ask for, ladies and gentlemen. That is all you can ask for. You know, we saw in that fan poll vote that the MPWF fans wanted to see more women's wrestlers, but coming in second place was more comedy. Well, folks, there'll be no comedy in this one. Ortiz and the Eclipse do not mess around at all. There'll be no joking. It will be straight wrestling. Submission rules here as Ortiz catches the Eclipse in that side headlock, wrenching on it here. Again, both these men are going to feel each other out. I believe this is a first-time matchup. Do not quote me on that. If I'm incorrect, put it in the comment section below. But I believe this is the first time that Ortiz and the Eclipse have met one-on-one here in the MPWF. And a nice reversal there by the Eclipse in that top wrist lock. Wearing down, and you can see Ortiz still has that elbow pad on, and that's exactly where that top wrist lock is going to wear down. The wrist and the elbow. You see that Eclipse utilizing that size and power. The Eclipse is not a small gentleman, coming in about 6'2", weighing in at 240 pounds. Ortiz, though, weighing in, at a height about 5'10", weighing in at that just over 200-pound mark. And now look at this nice snap down, takedown there, and into the headlock again. So this is Ortiz's forte. This is where he excels, right here in chain wrestling. You see that Wrenching on the neck there of the Eclipse. And the Eclipse is trying to escape, and he does. Nice reversal there, and straight to that elbow, to the hammerlock. Wrenching down on Ortiz now. Ortiz has got to come up with something big here to get momentum in this matchup. And Ortiz goes with elbow. Ortiz fires with the elbow, and Ortiz now with a Hurricane Rana taking down the challenger. Ortiz is so intense, ladies and gentlemen. That is what he brings to the MPWF, and there's the first suplex of the match. Suplex counter number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And you hear the MPWF fans with a Suplex City chant, and a deadlift powerbomb there by Ortiz. So we've seen Ortiz tap out people with that Kimura lock, with that guillotine. A heavy MMA background for the Zero Limits champion. Nice single leg takedown, straight air, and look at this. Beautifully putting the leg in the back to make sure the Eclipse was turned around. Nice ankle pick there by the Eclipse. Yeah, this is great wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And a nice double discus forearm there by the challenger, and drops an elbow right there on Angel Ortiz. And the Eclipse realizes, I'm going to have to keep him down. I cannot sit here and try and out-wrestle Ortiz. But you see the veteran experience there at the Eclipse going after that injured elbow. And now the Eclipse has Ortiz, and beautiful sidewalk slam there. Folding up right there on that gut and solar plexus. But Ortiz fights back. And Ortiz now collar elbow tie up. Sends the Eclipse off the ropes. And now look at that Rana there by Ortiz. From standing, the freak athleticism of Sub-Zero. And he sends the Eclipse into the buckle. And Ortiz now with a clothesline. And Ortiz coming out the buckle and a big clothesline to the back of the neck of the Eclipse. And now Ortiz says, you want to work on my elbow? I'll break your elbow. I ain't got no problem with that. And now look at this. Oh my goodness. Nice there by the Eclipse. Fake out shot with that right clothesline. And dropping Ortiz with that left clothesline. And now the Eclipse here, back in control, has Ortiz up now. And wait a minute. Oh, going right after that neck. And that's what I was talking about. If that's his Achilles heel, that's where you got to work. As now you see he had that trapezius lock on the neck, and Ortiz escaping right away. And now Ortiz now with that knee bar. Wrenching on that leg. Again, Ortiz, you see the desperation there as the Eclipse went after the neck of Angel Ortiz. And Ortiz again trying to escape as the Eclipse one more time going straight for the neck. Realized, and again, it must be something you can sense in the ring. Not just knowing that Ortiz's neck is injured, but you can feel the shift in desperation in Ortiz when you go after the neck. And now, oh, another sidewalk slam there again by the Eclipse. And now look at these strikes here by the challenger. And the Eclipse is in tremendous shape, ladies and gentlemen. The Eclipse in his mid-30s can easily make it back to the top of the MPWF, and this is the start. Oh my God! Oh, he busted him open in the ropes and went after the neck. And you see that there, as soon as he went after the neck. Now you may be wondering, why would Eclipse go after the arm there? But what that does, it works on the radial nerve. But Ortiz fights back here with the German suplex. And that's suplex number 2. Suplex number 3. And Ortiz now 4 German suplexes in this matchup. And see, the scary thing is blood is usually what would weaken your opponent. Blood reinvigorates Ortiz. So almost like Ortiz goes, alright, now it's a fight when he sees his own blood. And he fires back there with that forearm to the face. And now the Eclipse reverses. The Eclipse is, oh, what a kick there. I said he's going to go right back to that neck. That neck is the weak point. That's where he needs to stay here in this title fight. And Ortiz is down, slowly getting to his feet. What a matchup this is for the Zero Limits Championship. And a spinning wheel kick off the top rope by the Eclipse, folks. That man still has it. He still has it. All right, the Eclipse there went for that wide shot on Ortiz, fighting back with those leg kicks. And now wait, F5 coming. Ortiz going for the F5, but there's the elbow to the neck again by the Eclipse. And now, total eclipse there by the challenger, but this is not a pinfall rules match. This is a submission rules. And now look at this here. Going after that armbar. Look at that crazed look by the Eclipse. Trying to win this championship here tonight. But Ortiz, nice reversal there. Shifted in, getting out of that guard position. And getting catching him in the eye there. And side kick taking down the Eclipse. And now mounting him. And ground and pound goes the Zero Limits champion. And the Eclipse is split wide open, folks. Ortiz knows how to bust you open, and he's done it to the Eclipse there. He tries to extend that shoulder. Now, wait a minute here. And now Ortiz throwing the Eclipse out the corner. And once again throwing the Eclipse back into the ropes. And now Ortiz here going after the leg. He was going for that knee ball earlier on in the match. And now this time just unleashing with strikes, and that head kick drops the Eclipse. And Ortiz is coming back in this one, folks. Ortiz wants this win, needs this rebound after the King of the Ring finals. And now go for the F5 here on the Eclipse. And Ortiz with the F5. Sub-Zero on fire with this sold-out crowd in Lincoln, Nebraska, cheering for the man. And now there's the armbar by Ortiz, looking for the end, looking for the tap out on the Eclipse. And now the Eclipse in trouble. And the Eclipse, look at this here. Eclipse with a nice reversal and escape, but having to hold his arm, the damage may be done. And another big clothesline there by the challenger. What a matchup this is, folks. The Eclipse now on the top rope. Ortiz is in trouble, and the Eclipse went for the splash and misses. And now Ortiz with a belly-to-belly suplex. And oh my God, he's going to go for a second F5. He's going to go for a second F5 on the Eclipse. For good measure. Ortiz says, I'm still that guy. I'm still the baddest man in the MPWF, and there's the guillotine. Guillotine applied to the Eclipse. And the Eclipse with nowhere to go here. And he has no choice but to tap out. Ortiz retains the championship in one hell of a fight between these two men. Now, folks, who is going to take the title off of Ortiz? With this being submission rules, who can tap out this man? That's the big question. Because it is going to have, I've said this before, it is going to take a monumental effort by a monumental wrestler. I'm not saying the Eclipse isn't, but again, you have to find a submission strong enough to make Ortiz tap out. 4 German suplexes in this matchup. Eclipse got lucky. I think both Jamie Emo and the Cypher went for about 8 at Summerslam. But that neck is still causing issues, and that's the question right there. If this was a regular matchup, the Eclipse might have won the Zero Limits Championship right after that. The total Eclipse. But 2 F5s by Angel Ortiz. And he has really been getting elevation on those F5s. Look at this. This was the second F5 by Ortiz. And he said immediately Eclipse grabbing that split open area on his forehead. And then he had no choice but to tap out there. And still, your Zero Limits champion, Sub-Zero, Angel, mother-loving Ortiz, folks. The baddest man in the MPWF, still pulling out the W, still pulling out the wins. And a big question now is what is next for Angel Ortiz leading into Halloween Havoc and the Royal Rumble? Where does he go from here? Ortiz might tell us, folks. Ortiz says King of the Ring did not go the way I had wanted it to go. The whole tournament was glorious. It was a battle between the most battle-hardened warriors on Annihilation. I was in my element, but the Cypher went on to win. And that begs the question, what is next for Sub-Zero? I wanted both Klaus and the MPWF title, but for now, we will have to wait and see what the future outcome of the MPWF title match will be at Halloween Havoc. And that is correct, folks. We got to find out who is going to be the winner between the Cypher and Klaus at Halloween Havoc. Ortiz says, but while we wait, I've got some fighting to do. The Eclipse brought the fight tonight, and I want more matches like this. Everyone has been questioning, can my neck hold up? Well, I want to put it to the test. I will get back to the top. I will be the world champion once again. So who wants to help me on this road? Who wants to fight Sub-Zero, Angel Ramirez Ortiz? Who wants to battle in submission rules for the Zero Limits Championship? Who wants it, folks? Ortiz wants to know who is next in line. Who's going to bring the fight? Oh, wait a minute. That is the music of the man that Ortiz beat in the semifinals at Summerslam. A man that had a very, very busy night at SummerSlam Night 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the living legend, Jamie Emo. Jamie Emo feels very happy, very, very happy about how he dealt with Ryan Sparks. Ryan, not so happy. Jamie Emo, though, feel real confident about this. Emo ain't gonna be afraid of those submissions. So we could be getting a SummerSlam rematch. You know, I'm thinking Halloween Havoc, folks. I'm thinking we built to this show big time. Halloween Havoc. Ortiz face to face with Jamie Emo. And Emo says, Ortiz, we have some unfinished business, buddy. I'm not going to make any excuses, but I was distracted on a match, and well, I dealt with my little problem, if you catch my meaning. I feel real good now. It's time for me to move on. Like you, I also want the MPWF World Championship. And just like you, I need to get back to the top. Ortiz, I have learned a submission or two in my day, so let me challenge you for the Zero Limits title at Halloween Havoc. Well, that would be an incredible matchup for the Zero Limits title. And that will certainly put that title on the map, folks. Now you know that Ortiz ain't going to be upset about that. Wait a minute, who's this? Not so fast, what is this? Oh my god, Ryan Sparks on Annihilation. What is going on here? Ryan says, Emo, you thought you could just assault me and get away with it? You thought you could cost me the CAW World Heavyweight title and that we would just be even? It is not my fault that you fell for a simple trick. It is not my fault that you were scared of Seth Stern, that you lost focus. It's not my fault that you lost focus and lost to Ortiz. Don't worry though, you'll have time to accept your failures. I told you, I'm pressing charges, Emo. Good riddance. But what the hell is this? Ryan Sparks, is he actually pressing charges for what happened at SummerSlam? Wait a minute, is that a police officer? Wait, that is a police officer coming up to Jamie Emo. Now hold on just a second. And he says, Jamie Emo, you are under arrest for the assaults of Ryan and Tony Sparks in a public domain outside of the designated arena areas that was agreed upon in your MPWF contract. You have the right to remain silent, that anything said can be used against them, the right to an attorney and the right to an appointed attorney if they cannot afford one. Well, wait a minute, Jamie Emo is being arrested, folks. I don't believe this. And Nebraska, Lincoln, is not happy at all. And Jamie Emo is going to remain silent, folks. Jamie Emo is being arrested live here on MPWF Annihilation. I cannot believe what we're witnessing here. Jamie Emo is being escorted out the arena. Ryan and Tony Sparks have pressed charges and Emo has been arrested, folks. We're going to need an update for this. Jamie Emo's going to have to go to court. I don't believe this, folks. Ryan may have just gotten the last laugh in this situation, so now we don't know who's going to be facing Ortiz at Halloween Havoc. But coming soon to Annihilation is a popular tag team from the World Wrestling future. Finn and Sheamus Finnegan, the West Dublin Connection, will be debuting soon on the blue brand, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're going to need an update here for Jamie Emo and the police. I cannot believe this, folks. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, things might go from bad to worse. These two men scrap every time they're in the back with each other. This is not good at all. And Klaus says, don't you just hate running into each other like this, Ortiz? Who or what are you going to blame your failures on now? Your neck? That wasn't the reason you couldn't beat me. That wasn't the reason you couldn't beat the Cypher. You can't cut it anymore. You know, I think that the fight with our dear teacher, Ivan Volkov, finished your career. But I have one more test for you because you will never get to me or my title. Klaus rubbing in any of Angel Ortiz's losses. Says, but seeing as you were able to duck Jamie Emo, I have spoken to Crown, and your opponent at Halloween Havoc will be Shane Riley, a true submission specialist. And next episode, you're going to take on John Smith, who's been improving by leaps and bounds. My students are going to send you packing out of the MPWF finally. You'll never get to me, do you understand? And the Cypher's 15 minutes ends at Halloween Havoc. Well, Klaus has spoke to Quam, and the savage weight Shane Riley will get the next shot at Halloween Havoc for the Zero Limits Championship. Ortiz says, my only failure is that I've allowed you to turn into this cocky... Wow, I can't repeat that, folks. He says, does it make you feel better to rub it in every chance you get? For the first time in my career, I've had some setbacks, but I promise you I will get through them. I promise you that I will end you. Unfortunately for me, when I beat you, I might not get the chance to take the MPWF title from you. Because if you get cocky, Cypher will beat you, and tell Shane Riley that he better be ready. Well, Ortiz now laying down the Lord of Klaus as well, folks. Again, these men are going to have this final battle at some point here. This is not going to be enough. This constant going at each other like this. But the action continues here tonight on Annihilation, and Scorpion Zinda gets set for action. Zinda coming off a massive victory against Richard Hawkins on a previous episode of Underground. Hawkins attacked Zinda after the match, and Zinda was saved by the Eclipse, so there will definitely be more to that situation. But this is something I want to say that I respect about General Manager KK Quam. Scorpion Zinda came off of a huge win, and he's put Scorpion Zinda in a tough situation here. Zinda will be facing the official debut of Dragonheart here tonight, and Scorpion Zinda could derail Dragonheart. Dragonheart could also derail the momentum that Scorpion Zinda has built up. And KK Quam has said, you know what? Let's put him out there. Let's see what these guys can do, right? If you want your momentum to continue, you need to pull up. You need to perform here tonight. And the world fighter Scorpion Zinda is looking to do that here in this match. Said Zinda has been very impressive on Underground all year. And again, getting to see him on Annihilation, I am very happy for the world fighter. But what a night Summerslam was for this man, making his official debut as an MPWF contracted talent. Dragonheart should have won the Core Challenge Finals, folks, but cheating, disgusting behavior at the hands of Billy Valentine allowed Billy Valentine to secure the victory and become the first core challenge winner. But that wasn't it. Dragonheart got his retribution, doing that top rope Frankensteiner through the table, taking out Billy Valentine after everything Valentine did to him. And KK Kwan said, I know that your preferred brand was MPWF World and that Cruiserweight Championship, but I will sign you right now to the Annihilation brand. And Dragonheart said yes. And now Dragonheart is here, and he's not got an easy fight against the world fighter Scorpion Zinder. This should be one hell of an athletic contest on Annihilation. Said Dragonheart won over the MPWF fans at Summerslam, and they're very excited to see his progress here. With both men collar elbow tie up, both men well versed in high flying wrestling. Zinder a little bit more of a grounded wrestler than Dragonheart. Said Scorpion Zinder, we talked about before, has traversed the Indies, lived in his car for a long period of time until he made it to the MPWF. And again, Zinder is not the biggest charismatic cash cow, but Zinder is an old school wrestler and has been slowly building his way up. Dragonheart has got one of the most unique wrestling styles we have ever seen in the MPWF, and it has earned the respect of the MPWF fans. Nice reversal there for the fireman carry. Right back to that arm and elbow. Go Scorpion Zinder. Like I said, this is going to be a tremendous matchup here. And I don't know how KK Kwan has managed to do it, but it seems like there's a lot of cruiserweights here on the Annihilation brand. And again, kudos to KK Kwan for getting those underneath the nose of Brian Adams. A nice Hurricane Rana there by Scorpion Zinder. Sorry, by Dragonheart to Zinder. And oh, Zinder catching Dragonheart in the head. And now sends him to the ropes. Both men colliding with each other. Big right hands here by Scorpion Zinder. And now Zinder there with a drop kick. Like I said, this is not going to be easy for Dragonheart. This is honestly a very good first match for Dragonheart here on Annihilation to test the waters, to see where he is in this brand. And now look at this nice arm drag takedown there by Zinder. And Zinder now with a clothesline. Dragonheart ducks it. Kick to the midsection. Misses the kick. Slides behind him here. And now catches him with that kick. And these men are going at a pace, folks. And a moonsault off the top rope there by Dragonheart. High octane action here tonight on Annihilation. And now Zinder going that Dragonheart got that clover leaf here on Scorpion Zinder. And now Zinder able to reverse. And now big right hand there by Zinder. And now Zinder with a German suplex, catching Dragonheart. And now Dragonheart fights back with that punch to the midsection here. And now Dragonheart went for the Hurricane Rana and Zinder saw it coming. And now big right hand there by Scorpion Zinder. And now another arm drag takedown there. Zinder bringing out the lucha here to combat the high flying ability of Dragonheart. And Dragonheart fights back though. Dragonheart kick to the midsection. Misses that kick again. Zinder trying to catch it one more time. It gets caught twice. Gets caught twice. Dragonheart now on the top rope here. And Dragonheart going to go high risk it. He went for the moonsault and missed. He missed. And a big uppercut there by Zinder. See, both of these men, their cardio is incredible. Like I said, a very quick pace we're seeing in this match. And now Scorpion Zinder now gonna ground Dragonheart there with the guillotine in the ropes. And I love this by Scorpion Zinder, doing what's necessary to win here. Again, trying to match high flying ability with Dragonheart is all fun for your ego, but that's not what's gonna help you. That was a nice Michinoku driver there by Scorpion Zinder. You gotta see what the style of the man is wrestling, which is high flying, and you gotta ground him. You gotta work to your strengths here in this match. As Scorpion Zinder applying that camel clutch here on Dragonheart, and Dragonheart though escaping, sliding underneath. Again, a nice takedown there by Hart. And now Dragonheart springboarded up the ropes into the Hurricane Rana. That's what I'm talking about. No one else in the MPWF wrestles with this style, folks. And a neck breaker there by Zinder. The innovation is amazing. And now, off the ropes there. Scorpion Zinder with that senton splash with the cover on Dragonheart. Dragonheart kicks out there, 2 count. And now look at these strikes again here by Zinder. And now Dragonheart fires back here. And now look at these strikes again here by Dragonheart. A big haymaker and a Michinoku driver of his own. Dragonheart for the cover here to win. 2. And now Zinder kicks out. Great matchup we're witnessing here on Annihilation between these 2 young upstarts. As he sends Zinder into the ropes and an elbow there. And a big enziguri, shades of Samoa Joe. And now Dragonheart could be looking for that 619. Zinder's in trouble. Dragonheart off the rope, 619. And now Dragonheart, beautiful. The Eddie Guerrero helo into the ring with the cover here. 2. No. Again, Dragonheart learning that from the man himself. Beautiful helo inside the ring. And now, wow, oh my gosh. A standing corkscrew there by Dragonheart to Zinder. And Zinder gets the shoulder up. Now Dragonheart on that second rope. Scorpion Zinder in a very bad position right now. And oh, we went for the dive and net breaker and Zinder moved out the way. This is one hell of a matchup here tonight, folks. And now wait a minute. Blue Thunder bomb. Oh, he hits it. Big time Blue Thunder by Zinder with the cover. And oh my gosh. They're cooking, folks. These 2 men are cooking right now. And now Zinder has him on the top rope here. Now what's Scorpion Zinder go for? Big right hand there to Dragonheart. And they're pulling out all the stops there. And there's a top rope superplex there by Scorpion Zinder. The World Fighter taking down Dragonheart. Trying to kill his momentum before it gets going here on Annihilation. 2. Dragonheart gets the shoulder up. So the MPWF fans here in Lincoln, Nebraska appreciating this matchup between these 2 men. Oh, what a drop kick there by Zinder. And Zinder can sense it. He can feel it. And there's a swanton and he misses. Swanton bomb miss. And now Dragonheart, another Hurricane Runner. And now look at this, Dragonheart throwing Zinder into the buckle. Oh, big right hand there by Dragonheart. And now wait a minute, this is what he did to put Billy Valentine through the table on a top rope Hurricane Runner off the top. And now Dragonheart gonna go high risk again here. And Dragonheart with the moonsault, and that was picture perfect. A picture perfect moonsault by Dragonheart, and he seals the win. What an incredible wrestling match, ladies and gentlemen. So Annihilation here proving that they're the wrestling brand here in the MPWF. It's been a lot less shenanigans here tonight and just straight wrestling. I'm telling you right now, I appreciate it. What a matchup here booked by KK Crown between Dragonheart and Scorpion Zinder. So both men traded Michinoku drivers. And you know, if I'm seeing a trade off in Michinoku drivers, I'm loving this match. Look at this here. The innovative offense there by Dragonheart. Chef's kiss, man. Chef's kiss. So again, give respect to Scorpion Zinder coming off that victory against Richard Hawkins and proving again that Zinder's ready to come up to the next level here in the MPWF. So he hit that Eddie Guerrero helo. That wasn't enough. Zinder was able to kick out. And then right here, look at the moonsault. Look at the elevation. Look at the distance by Dragonheart. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I love it, man. We got Ultraman playing in the background. This is great. Right? You know, we can sit here and go join our Discord and we can talk about Super Sentai, ladies and gentlemen. You think DJ's not well versed? DJ's not initiated? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Billy Valentine's music's playing. What the hell is he wearing? He says, Mr. Dragonheart, where art thou? Congratulations, you managed to fail your way into an MPWF job. People keep claiming that I cheapened the core challenge, but that dirty mask of yours would say otherwise. Look, Dragon Boy, I'm the core challenge champion and the newest member of Annihilation. I thought I got rid of you at Summerslam, but I guess I need to finish the job. Well, Billy Valentine again, a way with words, folks. So once again, you have a chance to piggyback off my success because we have a match scheduled. Yes, we return to CPV at Halloween Havoc, but it's not a normal match. No, I already beat you in that, but I need to get some payback on you for embarrassing me and putting me through that table. I'm going to drill you through that hardwood in a tables match. I'm going to beat you so bad, you'll become a regular in catering. See you at Halloween Havoc, Dragon Boy. Well, Billy Valentine, even though he looks like an idiot right now, has just made the announcement that it's going to be him versus Dragonheart in a tables match at Halloween Havoc. But folks, we're continuing the action here in the MPWF. Head over to our secondary channel, MPWF Chairman, because coming soon will be Core Wrestling Global Genesis. We've got some big things planned for this show, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be spectacular. Core Wrestling Global Episode 3 is up right now on that channel. Go over there in the MPWF Chairman channel and check it out. But let's, folks, let's continue with Annihilation. And oh, here we go. The General Manager, KK Quam himself. He's got to be proud of the night that we've seen here on Annihilation thus far. Fully recovered after the assault by CJ Parker. No longer having to worry about CJ Parker. CJ Parker fired for his actions. His final match in the MPWF being at Bound by Honor. KK Quam now can do his job as the general manager of Annihilation, and he's been incredible, folks. He has been incredible. To the fans, always give respect to this MPWF Hall of Famer in KK Quam. It's never upsetting here the Beastie Boys either. You telling me you don't like Intergalactic? You're lying to yourself, and if you're for part of the youth, I need you to check out the Beastie Boys, folks. But here we go, KK Quam to address the audience. Says, hearing you fans cheer never gets old, and I'm happy to be back full-time after my injury. Now it's business as usual. We have a few things to cover before the night's end. Firstly, Faye Bartlett. I've been told by the doctor that Faye Bartlett has suffered a severe concussion, meaning she will miss the Intercontinental title match on MPWF Underground. Well, that's ridiculous, folks. Angelina Peace, we know, is happy about this situation. Faye Bartlett concussed and will no longer be able to compete on Underground for the Intercontinental title. Quam says, fear not, I will have a solution sorted on MPWF Underground. But it's not all bad news because I want to further add to a growing card at Halloween Havoc. I said I wanted to build the legitimate wrestling divisions for the championships on this brand, and we are going to start with a 6-pack challenge to crown the #1 contender for the YouTube title. Well, folks, that's going to be an incredible matchup. I cannot wait for that one. A 6-pack challenge at Halloween Havoc. He says Tora will face Feng Li, Stacy Sweet, Malcolm Gray, the Eclipse, and a returning T-Dot. All 6 men with a huge chance to face the YouTube champion after Halloween Havoc. Things are picking up here on Annihilation because my focus as general manager is the Royal Rumble. Last year, Shane Carter, a War Superstar, won the Rumble. We took the Women's Rumble with Justice Fitzgerald, but this year I want both. I want somebody to step up big this year. I need to, oh wait a minute, I was just about to say we want somebody to step up big, but here comes a man who is making his way to the ring in defeat. With DR Birds plays, you know it is Max Payne. real Max Payne in the building, and he ain't gonna be happy, folks. Losing to Joe Eagle, Tyrone Fitzgerald making an appearance and ultimately being the difference maker. And again, if I was KK Crown, I'd stay well away from Max Payne. The last time they were in the ring together, at the Royal Rumble last year, Max Payne put his hands on KK Crown. And KK Crown's already suffered enough at his age at the hands of CJ Parker. And I don't trust a damn thing that Max Payne does. I would be very wary if I was KK Crown. And this fans here telling Max Payne what they think of him. Max says, "You look nervous seeing me, Cram. Is it because you forced Meredith Grey to evaluate my medical and my MPWF contract and forced me to wrestle at SummerSlam? Is it because you know that you were the reason that Joey defeated me at SummerSlam? I know you had a smile on your face when your protege Tyrone Fitzgerald returned and got his revenge, huh? I think it's time some people paid their debts around here." Well, now hold on a minute here, Max Payne. You attacked Joey Eagle first, and KK Crown sorted the situation out. Max says, "It has been a collective effort to keep Max Payne down and to break my legs. At the 2024 Royal Rumble, you brought Ricky Cash back to try and stop me. Sean Stevens tried to stop me in Hell in a Cell, but I cannot be stopped no matter what you do. All those that have contributed to my downfall will pay, and it starts with you. I was going to do the job last year. It's now time to finish the job." Now wait a minute. Max, think about this. Think about this. Okay, there's no need for this. KK Kwam, he's old. He don't need none of this. Direct your anger to someone else. Wait a minute. It's Tyrone Fitzgerald. Tyrone Fitzgerald with a TKO. Tyrone Fitzgerald, who was taken out 2 years ago by Max Payne, that got involved at SummerSlam, has taken out Max Payne again, and that clothesline takes both men to the floor. Tyrone Fitzgerald defending KK Crown here tonight. Now Fitzgerald says, "Max, I'm going to need you to quit the sob story. Might need this, might need that. You got beat. People have finally caught on to you. Instead of revolting your game, you're whinging, crying like a you-know-what. Now you and I have some unfinished business. Not only have you been a pain in the ass to Crown, you cost my best friend his job as the man running the MPWF, and you took me out putting me through a flaming table. He did at the draft in 2023. Tyrone Fitzgerald was taken out for a long time. And Max Payne looks like he'll do it again." Fitzgerald says, "It's been 2 years since you did that to me, Max, and I've had a lot of time to think. At first I was going to let it slide. Sean, Joey, Ricky, they called. They all took care of you in the fight. I watched Mason Gray continue his warpath, and I sat at home and did nothing. I was ashamed of myself. I may be an old man now, but I can still throw out a TKO. To get to the Royal Rumble, you have to get through me. At Halloween Havoc, I may not win, but I'm damn sure going to kick your ass." Tyrone Fitzgerald has just said that he's going to face Max Payne at Halloween Havoc. And we've got Simon Says blaring in the speakers. Halloween Havoc is shaping up to be incredible, ladies and gentlemen. 6-pack challenge, MPWF title match, Zero Limits title match, and now right into the card, Max Payne versus Tyrone Fitzgerald. Again, folks, if you want to discuss anything at all, MPWF, video games, Super Sentai, whatever you want, go to our Discord at the MPWF server. You can talk about the core challenge, and ladies and gentlemen, the description for the link is in the description box below for our Discord, folks. Make sure you join and hang out with all the MPWF fans on Discord, folks. We need to start building that up. We need to start getting people chatting and talking. And wait a minute here. Benson Clement with Christopher Eagle. And this is not good before the title match. And Christopher saying, what the hell do you want? What kind of game are you trying to play here? And I agree with Christopher Eagle here. What the hell does he want? Why is Benson Clement here, not in the void right now? He says, no games are being played here, Christopher. I am not stupid enough to try and corrupt you. You don't have the air of darkness around you. But I do agree with you. The only way to stop me is to take the fight to me. Sean is playing a losing game, and I want you to tell him that the rules are mine. And I want you to look you in the eye and tell you that my next sacrifice is you. I will crush everything Sean Stevens enjoys in this world. Good luck tonight. Well, that was cheery as hell, Benson Clement. That's a nice thing to say to a person before a title match, Benson Clement. You sick man. Crazy. The action rolls on here on Annihilation as we have women's division action here as Cat Smalls is set to face MPWF legend Sasha Fierce. And Cat Smalls with her own individual theme making her way to the ring here. And you know what? With Justice Fitzgerald doing whatever it is that she's doing away from the MPWF, not coming back, sulking about losing to Serenity, Cat Smalls is really coming into her own, really developing her own personality, her own character, and I'm all for that. Again, one of the things the MPWF fans says that they would love to see is more women's wrestlers. And again, for Cat Smalls, she has really been improving, and this is what we want to see. New stars, a new person get to the forefront of the women's division. And again, if she can get the win over Sasha Fierce tonight, well, we might have ourselves a championship match at Halloween Havoc. The man, Sasha Fierce, has been going through it, folks. Sasha Fierce had a plan. We were trying to figure out what was she planning. What was her idea? She wanted to replicate WrestleMania. WrestleMania 11 has never sat right with Sasha Fierce. And she was going to screw Serenity like she thought Serenity screwed her over and allowed Pandora to walk away as the women's champion, but it was foiled by Cat Smalls. So I think we're going to see a very vicious Sasha Fierce here tonight. And again, even though Sasha Fierce has been going against Serenity, this crowd is still 80% on our side. You can hear a couple of boos, but Sasha Fierce is a legend. Like I said, first ballot Hall of Famer, folks. The original top woman in the MPWF. See on her shirt, the original. She is the original woman star here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. Again, there's a lot of history between Sasha Fierce and Cat Smalls. Cat Smalls was a part of the mothership that was trying to prevent Sasha Fierce from winning the championship at WrestleMania. So these two women have been in the ring with each other before. But again, oh my God, never with Sasha Fierce like this. Now, you know what? Some of the MPWF fans have been talking about, I love Sasha Fierce, but she hasn't got the job done. Let's face it. She faced Serenity and lost. She got to face Justice Fitzgerald, and it was an incredible main event on Annihilation, but she lost. At what point do you take accountability? And I think that's what Sasha Fierce has to do, And maybe Sasha Fierce is feeling the strain of wrestling with the women at this level. Some women, and that's not including Justice Fitzgerald and Serenity because they believe they do, but some women might not necessarily have the star power of a Hall of Famer like Sasha Fierce does. But what they have, again, the game has changed. The wrestling ability, the wrestling skill has improved, making it very hard to compete at this high level. And you see Cat Smalls here, not wasting any time, is not going to be intimidated by Sasha Fierce. And then what about Pandora, who had an incredible matchup at Summerslam? I don't want to forget that at all. But Pandora, who is shadowing Sasha Fierce, is learning from one of the very best the MPWF has to offer. She sends Cat Smalls in a big knife edge chop there, and another one. And another one. And this one dropping Cat Smalls here. And like I said, I've never seen Sasha Fierce focus like this in the modern era. Wrestling as vicious as this. And this is what it takes. Again, we've talked about it all night. How the pace, especially on Annihilation, is quick. It's just like that. And that's exactly what Sasha Fierce needs to keep up. I noticed Sasha Fierce here has dropped some weight. Has really worked on, again, that cardio base. That is what is going to help you sustain yourself here in this modern era of the MPWF. It's not necessarily about us being as bulky and as powerful as you can be. You need to be able to go, ladies and gentlemen. KK Crime could drop a 60-minute Ironman match on you at any time. You got to be prepared, and Cat Smalls there, taking down Sasha Fierce. I mean, Cat Smalls in tremendous shape. She's got like 10-pack abs, and she makes sure to show them off. As Cat Smalls dropping down here, and now catching her with the arm drag. Cat Smalls was one of the winners of the Queen of the Indies tournament in recent years. Earned herself a job in the MPWF because of that, and look at that roll out there by Sasha Fierce and catching Cat Smalls. And now, going after that knee. And like I said, look at how vicious Sasha Fierce is. Cat Smalls made one mistake, and Sasha Fierce is capitalized on it right away. So the MPWF fans cannot help but respect Sasha Fierce. And what is Fierce doing here? I don't know if she was half thinking about going after a weapon, but she's also going to want to make sure she punishes Cat Smalls for getting involved in her business at Summerslam. She sends Smalls into the bucket. Oh, what a knife edge chop again, and that one dropped her right there. And now wait a minute here, Sasha Fierce trying to build momentum. Cat Smalls stuck in the corner. Sasha Fierce, oh my god! What a forearm, and that one got Pandora out of her seat. And now frog splash off the top rope. And that's gotta be it. Cat Smalls is gonna be finished after that one. 2. Cat Smalls just gets the shoulder up. And Pandora telling the referee that was it. Pandora loving seeing her mentor dominate here tonight. And now, oh wait a minute, went for the Rana, and Cat Smalls catches her in a powerbomb. So Cat Smalls ain't no slouch, folks. She ain't no slouch. And a kick to the midsection here, and a beautiful DDT there by Smalls. Cat Smalls now with the cover, trying to pin this legend, and oh, Sasha Fierce kicks out. Cat Smalls, though, if she can hit that pop rocks, that would be all she said and done. And a clothesline sends Sasha Fierce all the way to the floor. And wait, Cat Smalls doesn't usually do this here. Cat Smalls going to look to go high risk here on Sasha Fierce. And Smalls with a dive to the outside takes her down. So this crowd here really responding to Cat Smalls. Really responding to her. And Cat now on the top rope. Sasha Fierce in trouble. There's the Meteor. Top rope Meteor by Cat Smalls to pin the legend with the cover. 2. And oh my goodness, a near fall. She almost had it. Almost had Sasha Fierce beat. And I went with that kick to the midsection here. And now Sasha Fierce spinning her around. And now, oh my god, there's that spinning back fist. Big time spinning back fist by Sasha Fierce. And now, oh, there's a cutter. And now straight into the Dragon Sleeper. One of Sasha Fierce's old finishing maneuvers as she wrenches back here on Cat Smalls. And Cat has no choice but to tap out. Look, Cat Smalls was impressive, but you want to talk about hella impressive. Sasha Fierce, folks. I have not seen her focus like that in a long time. And you know what? Maybe losing those big time matches is what Sasha Fierce needed. Maybe it was motivation is what she needed. Look at this here. Watch this strike that she throws at Cat Smalls. I don't even know how Cat Smalls was able to fight back after that. Oh my gosh. I thought she had her with that frog splash. But Cat Smalls showing her resilience here tonight. Yeah, you know, I'm never upset. You know, so these replays take a long ass time these days. But my gosh, man, hearing Anne Boleyn is great, ladies and gentlemen. This takes me back to a time in my high school era that I will never forget, folks. Anne Boleyn is sick. But here we are, Sasha Fierce with the victory. Runaways, folks. What a song, man. You know, incredible band, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible band. Well, the original with the victory here tonight on Annihilation. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, Pandora attacking Caspos with a chair, and now, wait a sec. Slow down. Pandora is tarring her backside with this chair. This is a vicious assault by Pandora. What the hell? Oh my god, a Michinoku drive on the floor. What is Pandora doing here? And oh, now wait a minute, Sasha Fierce now attacking Cat Spores. Oh my god. Wasn't the victory enough? Wasn't the victory enough? And now the crowd is booing Sasha Fierce, and she says, it may seem like the crowd is on your side, but that's because the MPWF fans are notorious for flip-flopping on their crowd support. We are completely justified in this attack. You see, Kat, you were an accomplice in costing me the women's title match at WrestleMania. You and Brooklyn helped Justice. You attacked and tried to hold back Pandora. You cost me my revenge against Serenity at Summerslam. For you, this is merely a receipt. You know what? I can't even argue. I can't even argue. And Sasha Fierce says, I am the original and I demand respect. I demand the MPWF Women's World title because it should have been mine at WrestleMania. I am a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I did not come back to be disrespected. You have a relationship with both Justice and Serenity. I want you to let Serenity know that I am now calling my shot at her title, and tell Justice to quit being a punk and come back so I can finally get my win. Well, I mean, we talked about laying down the law here tonight. Sasha Fierce laying down the law here. Oh, wait a minute, that's the music of the Women's Champion. And there she is. Serenity's had enough of this. Serenity has had enough of this. And she beelines to the ring. And she is outnumbered here. Serenity says, don't you think you're taking things too far, Sasha? I think the real problem is you can't believe that time has passed you by. When you returned at WrestleMania 10, you went on and won the tag team titles right away. You didn't expect this generation to be as good as it is. You fought Helga and Karma one-on-one, but you still hung up on me being outside of the ring for 2 minutes? It's giving desperate. Serenity now may be telling some hard truths to Sasha Fierce. And Sasha, furious, I don't think she can deny it. Serenity says, you hate Justice for what she became, yet here you are, corrupting Pandora because of your jealousy. I'm going to give you a title match at Halloween Havoc, not because you deserve it. Both Justice and I have beaten you already, but because once it's all said and done, Sasha, there will be no more complaining, no more excuses. You can stop complaining about WrestleMania because you could never beat me. Well, oh my word, folks. Sasha says, I will get what I deserve at Halloween Havoc. We got ourselves another matchup for Halloween Havoc, folks. And Pandora letting Casimos go and Sasha Fierce and Pandora leaving. But we now know that at Halloween Havoc, Sasha gets one more match for the Women's Championship. And Cat S'mores is going to have to thank Serenity. But right now what you're hearing in your speakers is the theme song for Halloween Havoc. Ladies and gentlemen, Beast by Tech 9. We haven't had a Halloween Havoc on YouTube since 2011, folks. We already know it's going to be the Cypher versus Klaus for the MPWF World Championship. A 6-pack #1 contender challenge matchup. We're going to see Angel Ortiz versus Shane Riley for the Zero Limits title. Tables match Dragonheart and Billy Valentine. Tyrone Fitzgerald versus Max Payne. This Women's Championship match added, folks. It's going to be a good event. The Annihilation brand is cooking for Halloween Havoc. So we are on the road to the Royal Rumble. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. As we're exiting the building, there's Ricky Cash, and we haven't seen him all night. And he's with the YouTube champion, the Cypher. And Cash says, look, Cypher, I think you're a great kid with a hell of a lot of talent. But Klaus is different right now. Even when I lost the title to him in Paris, he beat the hell out of me at Summerslam, and truthfully, I was finished from early. Are you really ready for this match? Do you really think that the King of the Ring prepared you for this? If you do, then I want to face you next episode. This will be a rematch from the WrestleMania tournament final. If you can beat me, you'll be ready. Well, wait a minute here. Ricky Cash making a challenge to the Cypher. And the Cypher says, with all due respect, Cash, I'm ready. But I do need to avenge my loss in the tournament finals to you. I'm going all in because I truly believe that I can become the MPWF World Champion. So not only will I face you, but I'll put the YouTube title on the line. If I can't beat you and defend it, then maybe I'm not ready. Well, hold on a minute. We're going to see if the Cypher's ready. He's going to meet Ricky Cash in a YouTube title matchup on our next episode of MPWF Annihilation. Cash says we will find out if you are next episode or if I become the new YouTube champion. Well, that's going to be incredible because up next, folks, is our main event of the evening for the World Tag Team Championships. All the momentum is on the Void side, folks. We saw the 6-man tag team war that resulted in the Void picking up the victory with Benson Clement pinning Christopher Eagle. This has guaranteed this tag team title matchup here tonight for Gabriel and Abraham, the Fallen Angel and the Disciple. These two intense individuals can leave here in the main event with the MPWF World Tag Team Championships. This war between the light and dark has been going on for the better part of 2025 here, with the preceding taking place for at least the last 2 years here in the MPWF. And we can see another wrinkle in this war if these two men are able to walk away here with the MPWF World Tag Team Championships. Gabriel, the Fallen Angel, brought from MPWF War to Annihilation by Benson Clement. Again, we have no idea what he went through. He was tortured to made into a different being. Abraham is the heir to everything, ladies and gentlemen. The son of systematic carnage, ready for a fight here tonight. And here is the darkness the MPWF World Tag Team Champions, the second son, Christopher Eagle, and the GOAT, the picture-perfect player, Angel Blade, Sean Stevens, here to put a whooping on the Void tonight and retain these Tag Team Championships. Again, both men currently suffering different philosophies in how to deal with the Void, but I'll tell you this right now, Sean Stevens would not appreciate the fact that Benson Clement went up to Christopher Eagle before this match, ladies and gentlemen. And Sean Stevens is going to unleash his rage on Abraham and Gabriel for it. Not to mention the fact that Gabriel was the reason that Sean Stevens got eliminated in the quarterfinals of the King of the Ring tournament. This is going to be an incredible main event to an incredible episode of MPWF Annihilation. And that's what it's all about, the MPWF World Tag Team Championships. You know, we talk about the rivalry on MPWF War between the Future Foundation and the Blood Brothers and how they shaped the CW World Tag Team division on that brand, but the Annihilation brand, no one has been able to hold on to these tag team titles. Already this year, the Beautiful Angels were the champions. They then lost the titles to the Young Ones. Then the Young Ones lost the titles to Benson Clement and Thanatos. And then Thanatos and Benson Clement lost to Christopher Eagle and Sean Stevens. Will we see another championship title switch here tonight? Each tag team champion has had minimal title defenses. It has been a heavily sought after championship on this brand, making it very hard for the champions to keep it. Whoever can hold on to these titles will certainly build it into a dynasty, folks. As Sean Stevens goes straight after Abraham here with the right hand. And now Sean Stevens unleashing and firing on Abraham here. And now big time net breaker there by Sean Stevens. Again, this capacity sold-out crowd here in Lincoln, Nebraska is going to be on the side of the picture-perfect player as he goes after Abraham. Again, another man that helped Sean Stevens, systematic carnage. It's his son. He's getting some retribution for carnage. And now here comes Christopher Eagle. Again, an incredible talent, an incredible human being. But I think that Benson Clement is working on that overzealousness of Christopher Eagle, and I believe that's why Sean Stevens is telling him to be patient. Again, Eagle has had an amazing year, winning the War Games matchup, right? You know, like being at the forefront of the end of Mason Gray. Christopher Eagle was on a pay-per-view roll, ladies and gentlemen, win the tag team titles, pinning Thanatos at Bound by Honor. You know, so Benson Clement is certainly working on that stacked confidence of Christopher Eagle. It was Eagle that took the pinfall at Summerslam. And now, Gabriel going after that arm and shoulder. So Gabriel don't want to end up like Bishop or Sick Nick, who was sacrificed at the hands of Benson Clement. And now, what a clothesline there by Christopher Eagle, and was tearing his head off. And Christopher Eagle now slamming Gabriel to the mat. Again, wanting to get retribution for that loss at SummerSlam. Many of the fans thought that the Void were not going to beat the Darkness. But like I said, they have been building that momentum, and it goes back to what I talked about, folks. Momentum, momentum, momentum. Gabriel now makes the tag, and in comes Abraham once again. And now, what a spear clothesline combination there. And they are wearing down the less experienced competitor in Christopher Eagle. Another clothesline there by Abraham. And this is a hard-hitting main event, folks. Well, look at these knees here. Look at how vicious this is by Abraham. Oh my God, I think he just busted Christopher Eagle open. And Eagle having to go to the outside of the ring to check. And now all the way to the outside goes Abraham. And now Abraham going after Sean Stevens here. And you know Benson Clement is watching this with a smile on his face. with happiness in his eyes. And now, wait a minute, a pile driver on the floor there to Sean Stevens. And Christopher Eagle now, even though him and Sean Stevens may not agree with how to deal with this situation, that's his coach, that's his mentor, and he's going to bring the fight to Abraham. Wait a minute, Christopher now going to the top rope. Abraham is done in a front splash. Oh no! There is the overzealousness once again of Christopher Eagle. A front splash from the top to the outside and a bad landing for the second son. Oh man, Christopher goes face first there into that ring post. And oh my god, here. He threw him so hard into the ropes, he glitched out there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Christopher Eagle does need to calm down a bit. Look at how methodic the Void are here tonight. How well Gabriel and Abraham are working here. Just now look at that throw to the face, and there is that confirmation. The blood pouring out the eye of Christopher Eagle. And what about the chilling words of Benson Clement? My next sacrifice is going to be Christopher Eagle. You know, again, we know what that means. We're going to see this casket come out, and we're going to see him sent to the Void. And oh, Gabriel tried to get him there, and Christopher moving out the way. And Christopher now with that roll-up with the schoolboy. And oh, kick out there. And oh, wait a minute. Reverse there by Gabriel with the cover here. 2. And oh, kick out. And Sean Stevens once in this matchup. Once back in here. Oh man, that's vicious. That's vicious. Oh, and that's perverse. That was vicious, and that was perverse. That curb stomp there. And oh, Christopher Eagle barely getting the shoulder up, but that's why he's on the side of the darkness. That's why he's on Sean Stevens' side. For his heart, for his fight, for his testicular fortitude, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, he's going to have to get more with testicular fortitude and make the tag here, or the darkness is going to lose the tag team titles. And Sean Stevens now going to break it up here. Christopher needs to get some leeway, needs to get an escape here. Well, Gabriel wisely throwing him into Sean Stevens, but Stevens hung on, but gets caught with a backbreaker there. And Gabriel relevant in that situation and not paying attention, because here comes Sean Stevens. And now Stevens taking out Abraham. And Gabriel knocked out on his feet. And Stevens to the outside with a crossbody. And the GOAT is on fire. And trouble in paradise. The Kodak moment. And oh, wait a minute, Abraham now going after. Wait a minute, look at this. You damn coward. Abraham running for Christopher Eagle. Sean Stevens saying, drops him with the elbow. And now, wait a minute. Oh, this is breaking down, folks. This is breaking down now. And Sean Stevens too focused on Abraham. And wait a minute, Gabriel with the roll-up here. Sean Stevens with the cover. And no, Sean Stevens rolls back up Gabriel with the cover. 2 new champs. Oh, sorry, well, retained champs, I should say. And now Sean Stevens here. Oh, shot to the back of the neck there of Gabriel. And now sends him into the bucket. And launches him right onto his keister. Now Sean Stevens goes back up to the top rope again. A place he's very comfortable. And there's that big splash that everyone's been going for tonight. But Sean Stevens hits it with the cover. And Gabriel just gets the shoulder up. What a main event this is. We're watching right now for the MPWF World Tag Team Championships. Episode 18 of Annihilation, and a beautiful T-bone there by Gabriel. The Void versus the Darkness, and the Void getting the change of momentum that they needed. And now Gabriel trying to get a short Stevens. And now Stevens sending him in to Christopher Eagle. And now what is this? Oh my gosh, Sean Stevens has him up. Christopher Eagle, oh my goodness gracious me. What a move. What a move. And now going for the cover to retain the tag team titles. And Gabriel breaks it up. And Christopher Eagle so focused on Gabriel, needs to pay attention to Abraham. And Eagle though with a DDT on the apron. And now Abraham go for the dive again, and Eagle moves out the way. Oh, this action in this main event is going fast and hard. And there was the land of the living skies. His father's signature maneuver. And now Christopher all the way to the top rope. Abraham is down. And there's the frog splash. He hits it. Frog splash on Abraham. 2. No, near 4. Incredible contest here on MPWF Annihilation. And now Eagle could be looking for the skull crushing finale, his finishing maneuver, or the bloodline perhaps. Oh wait, I think he's going for the bloodline, but Abraham reverses it. And Abraham now catching him here. Oh, what a clothesline. What a clothesline to Christopher Eagle. And now Abraham, we've seen him do that senton, the swanton bomb I should say, at the top rope. Wait, he's going for a moonsault. Oh my god, he hit it. A moonsault off the top rope by Abraham with the cover. That on Sean Stevens breaking that up. That is uncanny athleticism by Abraham. And Abraham taking out Stevens. And Abraham feeling real confident right now. I'm not paying attention. And that's Christopher Eagle with a roll-up on Abraham. No. Oh my gosh. Near fall after near fall here. And again, Christopher Eagle going for another roll-up here on Abraham. Keeping that pace up. And now went for the big boot, misses. Oh, wait a minute. Into the void. Into the void. And he's got the ropes for leverage. 2. Oh, Christopher Eagle kicks out. Christopher Eagle kicks out. This is the potential that Sean Stevens, a systematic artist, see in Christopher Eagle, folks. His unwillingness to give up. But no, another shot there by Abraham. The fans here in Lincoln, Nebraska, loving this main event. Gabriel now to the top rope with a swanton, and he misses. Swanton bomb, and he misses. And now wait a minute. Christopher Eagle with the bloodline. Bloodline on Gabriel. Wait, Abraham already get in the ring to break it up. Now makes the tag, and in comes Sean Stevens to finish off Gabriel here. And now off the ropes goes Gabriel, and a beautiful power slam there by Sean Stevens, hooking the leg here for the cover to pin Gabriel. 2, and I'll kick you. What a drop kick there by Sean Stevens, knocking Abraham off the apron. And oh, wait a minute, he was going for the move here. Gabriel, nice reversal into the DDT. And Gabriel now feeling very, very confident. And oh, he went for the drop kick. Stevens saw it coming with a kick to the midsection. And I said Sean Stevens wants to punish Gabriel for costing him at the king of the ring. And that could be coming now, because it could be vintage Sean Stevens with the Hangman's DDT. And he's about to drop the bomb. The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. And it's time for Christopher Eagle to finish it. Oh wait, Christopher Eagle did go for a pinfall, went for a submission there. I don't know about that one. And Gabriel's in trouble. And okay, Gabriel able to escape. I would have went for the frog splash. Oh no, wait a minute. He might get caught here though with the roll up. 1, 2. No, near fall again. And now Eagle, skull crushing finale. No, misses the drop kick. And now DDT there by Gabriel. And now makes the tag, and in comes Abraham back into the match. And now Abraham sees the end here for Eagle, but Eagle fights back with 2 boots to the face. And Eagle with the drop kick. And now look at this, Christopher Eagle, who is losing a lot of blood as we speak. But Eagle now off the ropes here. Oh my God, over the top. All the way over the top goes Christopher Eagle. And he's feeling it. The second sub. What a spectacular main event here on MPWF Annihilation. Abraham is almost done here. And a right hand there by Christopher Eagle. Skull crusher finale perhaps. And alright, round the waist, and there's an inverted DDT. And now wait a minute, Eagle shot again to Gabriel. He's going to DDT one more time there on the apron, and he does. And Eagle now to the top rope. To the top rope. And a crossbody taking down Abraham. And now Eagle, land of the living skies, and that is it. That is going to be it. Come on, Christopher, get the win. Oh, no. Oh, no. Benson Clement is here. Benson Clement can obviously feel that this match is slipping to the void. And he's reminding him he's going to be a sacrifice. Wait a minute. Systematic carnage. Carnage saying, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Turn around, Clement. Turn around. And Carnage down with a DDT to Benson Clement. And Carnage is going to finish him. And he goozles him, hand on the throat. And now choke slam by Carnage to Benson Clement. No cheating going on here tonight. No cheating going on here tonight. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, small package out of nowhere by Abraham. Small package. 2. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Benson Clement with the sacrifice by Carnage, ultimately for the distraction, and we have new tag team champions. I don't believe it, folks. I mean, that was an incredible main event. Abraham using conniving. I don't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Corruption. Right here, look at this. How Christopher Eagle kicked out of that, I don't know. The into the void. He even held onto the ropes there. The referee should have done better with that, but Eagle got the shoulder up. The bloodline there by Christopher Eagle, and this is heartbreak. Look at this here. Abraham suckered Christopher Eagle in, and we now have brand new MPWF World Tag Team Champions. The momentum continues for the Void, and we still are crowning new champions left, right, and center of the tag team division here on Annihilation. You can hear this mixed reaction from the MPWF fans. Like I said, this is scary. They're starting to cheer the Void, folks. New champions. Wait a minute. No, Sean Stevens has had enough of Benson Clement. Stevens has had enough, and there's the TKO. And we may be getting ass-kicking Sean Stevens here tonight. That's the thing right there. Benson Clement was coming out for the sacrifice of Christopher Eagle, and Sean Stevens says, hell to the no, to the no-no. And wait a damn minute here. Benson coming on the spot off the stage. Wait a minute. Sean Stevens. Oh my! Jesus Christ! He just did a German suplex. Both men fell off the stage. What the hell? What the hell? How on earth is Benson going to get to his feet? That was nuts, folks. Sean Stevens just German suplex Benson Clement off the stage. Wait a minute here. Sean Stevens now face to face with Clement. And he says, you stay away from Christopher. Do you understand me? I have watched you, waiting for you to surprise me, Benson, but you have disappointed me. With all your skill and forethought, you are just like Christopher and don't understand yet. You think taking out Helios Christ would set you apart? Your father tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen. I'm a different beast, Benson, and you'll see me at Halloween Havoc, folks. Sean Stevens versus Benson Clement, one-on-one for the first time at Halloween Havoc, ladies and gentlemen. What an event it's going to be. Incredible. But folks, this is all the time we have for MPWF Annihilation. My name's Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood, and I'm signing out. We will see you for MPWF Underground.